It's now the middle of summer, and everybody is taking a little time off. However, some people need a little more R&R than others.
Take the Verzo Mill, Bucksport, founded in 1829, that are made all this more extreme heat more consequential. Approve all those outstanding military nominees now. If you could do anything at all, Joe, what would you do? I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We'd end the cancer as we know it.
The president's been at his beach house in Delaware all week, and Republicans are criticizing Sleepy Joe for all his downtime. In a recent statement, the RNC said, quote, as of July 7, 2023, Biden has spent 352 days, 39.2% of his presidency, on vacation. Biden's vacation habit still outpaces virtually every other president in modern history. Granted, obsessing over the president's vacation time is a bipartisan affair. I remember people complaining about George W. Bush clearing brush in Texas at the Western White House, and of course Trump at his winter White House in Florida, and Obama loved getting out on the bike. Remember how cool he looked in his helmet and mom jeans? But like everything else in modern America, analyzing a politician's downtime is a great way to score some political points. Biden's allies online have been comparing pics of him on vacation to unflattering images of President Trump, but they're using fake photos. Look at this post comparing Joe to Trump. But that's not Joe. That's allegedly photoshopped. This is the real picture of Joe. Here's what he really looks like at the beach. But why wouldn't President Biden take some time off, huh? He's got the confidence of knowing that this country is in the able hands of his vice president, right? Kamala is obviously one of the most unimpressive political figures we have ever seen. But maybe that's not why her approval numbers are so low. Let's see how far someone in the mainstream media is willing to go to excuse her low approval rating.
There are reports that say that you have the lowest approval rating of any vice president. I'm curious how much of a role, if any, that you feel race and gender play in that.
Well, there are polls that also say I have great approval ratings. I think the point that has to be made is that there are attempts to create distractions away from the accomplishments of our administration.
That's it, race and gender. Keep repeating that phrase over and over, and if anyone complains about it, call them racist and sexist. But there are repercussions to all this. Democrats and people in the media were left scratching their heads this week when it was revealed that an overwhelming number of 12th grade boys identify as conservative. Wait a minute. I thought the kids today were liberal. Well, if you demonize them from birth and make them read books about toxic masculinity, they might just turn against you. But taking time off is good, and it's necessary. A new survey finds that most Americans find some time to get away every year, but they worry about how to pay for it. You know, we all don't have a drug-addicted son to run down foreign money so we can invest in oceanfront property, do we? I was surprised to learn this week Americans prioritize spending on travel over things like retirement savings or home improvement. But most have only a few thousand to spend, and 16% wouldn't consider spending more than $1,000 on their vacation.
Sorry, folks, we're closed for 2 weeks to clean and repair America's favorite family fun park. Sorry.
What? Aw, don't punch the moose. Of course, a yearly trip is kind of a modern thing. When I was a kid, our family didn't go on vacation. We had the town pool. My dad wasn't going to put us on an airplane when there was a perfectly free option down the block. We'd always ask to go to Disney World. My dad would just say, why? Just look in the Viewmaster. We would spend hours pointing that old GAF Viewmaster at a sunny sky, looking at oversaturated 3D pictures of Disney World, wondering, what would it be like to be there in person? And then, as a dad, I did take my kids to Disney World. And you know what? It's not much better than looking at a Viewmaster. In fact, I kind of like the old Disney World better. Okay, that song's going to be stuck in your head. I apologize. Most of us don't take many vacations, and then when we do, we don't entirely check out. Call us the anti-vakers. We might go to the beach, but we bring our devices with us, and then we put in a few work hours on the sand. Also, guys like me can only spend a few hours in the sun. This is what I look like on a sunny day at the beach. That's a real picture. Meanwhile, some vacations are welcome news. California appears to be taking a break from its broken green energy ideas. Not that they would admit it. There is a heat wave in California, and they don't have enough power to run the state. So where do you think they turn? Well, to our old friends, fossil fuels. Gavin Newsom can crow about wind and solar all he wants, but they just don't generate enough power. Last week, during a heat stretch in California, natural gas accounted for 44% of energy generated. Renewables, just 30%. And electricity imports account for another 11%. They're almost all from fossil fuels. That means even in the most so-called green of states, they're still cooking with gas, friend. And in Illinois, Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker is taking a vacation from common sense. He just signed a bill into law allowing non-U.S. citizens to become police officers in that state.
What we have allowed is legal permanent residents and DACA recipients now to become police officers.
That's right. Non-citizens arresting U.S. citizens. Why would someone who doesn't hate America sign a law like that? They wouldn't. That's why it's time for voters to send people like J.B. Pritzker on a permanent vacation. He's one of the worst. That's my opinion. And now, scientists continue to take a vacation from fun. A new study says even moderate amounts of alcohol can significantly raise your blood pressure. Really? When I'm on vacation, not having a drink can raise my blood pressure. But duly noted. So did the experts who ran the study conclude that you should take risks into account and then continue to enjoy your life? No. They said that as a result of their analysis, people should avoid drinking altogether. All alcohol. Wow. This is why I don't listen to experts. This study compared blood pressure readings from more than 20,000 participants who were followed for at least 4 years. 4 years?
4 more years! 4 more years!
Come on, do you know any happy, healthy people who are willing to be monitored by scientists for 4 years? Something tells me this is not the kind of representative sample that I want to compare myself to. I think these poor people need a vacation from being a guinea pig. And please, get them a margarita. And it seems some Chinese travelers who are just trying to take a break from their daily life are encountering a break with reality. You see, the sun bears at the Hangzhou Zoo really are bears. But some people think they're humans in a bear costume. Take a look at this sun bear just standing there like a shopper at Walgreens trying to figure out which cold medicine to buy. But I promise you, that is not a human in an animal costume. What would ever give someone an idea like that? Yeah, I guess that would. That's a guy in a dog costume. And finally, I wish the CDC would take a break from trying to send Americans into a panic. Now that their COVID hysteria is largely fading with the American people, they're looking at new, creative ways to terrify you. They are warning that there's rising evidence that leprosy has become endemic in the southeastern United States. Leprosy. They're really getting biblical on us now. What's next? A plague of locusts? They're not completely lying, of course. Cases of leprosy in Florida and some southern states have doubled, going from almost none to almost none times 2. The office didn't say any definitive causes for this, but the CDC paper did note that a link to migration may account for the increase in incidence of leprosy in historically non-endemic areas. Oh, you think so? You think that our wide-open border could have anything to do with increased cases of a disease that comes mainly from poorer countries? I don't know. That's just my theory. By the way, who is it that's supposed to be in charge of our border again?
Secretary Mayorkas, you must resign. Will you resign?
No, I will not.
Yeah, those two.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.